Hey, Brody.
Hey, Zach.
It's been a while.
It's been an entire off season.
An entire off season of things to talk about. That's right. This is VGK recap. Yo, boy, coming on in,
coming at you live from
coming at you
yesterday,
live. From, oh man.
from many days
Okay,
before.
let's talk about the draft since we kind of did a video about that and then we just kind of abandoned it for a while.
Did we actually do a video about that?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I don't think so.
We might not have done a video about that.
I think we talked about it, but just didn't.
I think there was discussions of a video. That's not the point. Anyways, so we're gonna talk about some of the standouts from the draft. Peyton Krebs. Let's talk about this guy.
He is the guy we took in the first round. So he injured his Achilles before the draft, and so he was somebody who was projected to go in like 8th overall, 7th overall, top 10, but we took him at 16, which is, as you can imagine, really good because you get a guy who's supposed to be really good. He just gets a very healable injury, and then suddenly you just get him instead because other teams don't want that, I guess.
Other teams don't want people with injured Achilles.
Yes, first round, Peyton Krebs. Good idea.
Okay.
Adds
So
to
let's
that
talk
Cody
about the
Glass
second
center
round.
depth.
So in the second round, we got Caden Korzak.
Yeah,
pronouncing that right.
we traded with the Sharks to move up some picks to pick Caden Korzak. I know, boo Sharks, but we got Caden Korzak. He is a defenseman. He's a big guy, defensive defenseman. So sort of Braden McNabb-ish kind of guy. Sort of an interesting player, and he looked really good in the rookie games, which is not saying a lot because nobody looked good. Well, I guess it is saying a lot because nobody looked good, and he did.
If no one looked good and he looked good, then he must be incredible.
Yeah, he was all right.
And then, oh my God, I'm just looking at this name here for the third one. No, Pavel Dorofeyev.
More Russian, Pavel Dorofeyev.
Oh, Pavel Dorofeyev.
Yeah, so he
There it
was
is.
somebody who...
Sorry, I had to throw on the accent.
He was somebody who some people who watch Russian hockey, who are draft experts, had him as, again, a first-round talent kind of type guy. And we picked him up in the third round because, a lot of NHL teams don't have the scouts to go over to Russia and to take this kind of guy. And he seems like a steal. He is currently playing in the KHL, which is the Russian equivalent of the NHL. And he's 19 years old, playing against, guys who are 27, 28, 30, men basically. And he is dancing around them and destroying them in every which way. So if you want to see some highlights, just check that Twitter because he's kind of a cool dude that he's probably the best winger we have in the whole system. And so if he comes over, his contract in the KHL expires next year. And so if he comes over, so next season, that would be pretty cool.
Okay, now what about some off-season trades we got going on here?
Are you ready for sadness?
Yeah,
Be prepared
yeah,
for
I'm ready.
sadness. Prepare for
I
sadness.
am-
So because
So ready.
because the cap did not go up nearly as much as anyone thought it was going to be. People were sort of projecting it around $83 million. Instead, it was $81.5. We kind of had to move away from some guys, and were completely unable to make room for some other Russian Gusevs that we wanted.
Some Gusevs. No,
So the
no Gusevs, I'm afraid.
the first cap casualty was Eric Holla, who we sent to Carolina for basically just Nicola Waugh, who is, he's pretty good. He was playing in the preseason games, and he looked like he belonged. There was also a 5th-round pick involved with that, but, it's a 5th-round pick, and it was, if Holla continues to play in Carolina or if Holla gets traded and they get certain things back, it's conditional. But so basically the big thing that we got back was Nick Waugh, who looks like a 4th-line center to go with our other 4th-line centers, such as Nosek, Cody Eakin, if Cody Glass is that good, kind of. So probably going to be the last forward over the boards if a bunch of people get injured, but he looked good.
And then Colin Miller. We can talk about Colin Miller a little.
Of course, our defenseman who hits the puck as hard as you could possibly hit it, but never hits the net with it. So,
Standard. Classic.
he was pretty good. He was one of the standouts from our third pairing defenseman. I mean, right-handed shot, very rare. Defenseman, very valuable. And so what you get back for him is a second and a fifth, which is, pretty good. And also the thing that you get back for him that is not quite that is you get an open spot for one of our many varied rookie defensemen to fill in, which by this point it looks like it's probably going to be Nick Hague, but you never know. It could be anyone.
It could be anyone. It could be Nick Hague.
It could be Nick Hague. It could be Jimmy Schultz. It definitely probably isn't Dylan Coughlin.
Man, you're just throwing names at me. I don't know any of these names.
And not lastly.
Well, there's David Clarkson.
So David Clarkson, just a contract, actually. So the Maple Leafs signed David Clarkson to a 7-year contract, I guess 6 years ago now. And he almost immediately, his spine just fell out of his body, and he does not play hockey anymore. But we had his contract.
Oh, Jesus.
No, he has a slipped disc or something. He doesn't play hockey anymore. So we had his contract, which was, money against our cap that we wanted to have space for. And so Toronto wanted it, and so we gave it to them. And so they sent us back their backup goaltender, and now they have a worse backup goaltender, which...
It's a good trade is what I'm hearing.
Yes, I would say so, because Sparks is much closer to Subban than Dansk is. So that means that if... so the goaltender's name is Garrett Sparks, and so that means that if Fleury goes down and Subban goes down, there's a third guy who can come up, who can expect to play maybe on par with Subban or a little bit worse than Subban. So I think that that's a pretty good trade, especially because it worked out for Toronto as well, because they were trying to sign Mitch Marner at the time, and basically having this contract that they could put on the injured reserve. It was a whole thing, and I don't care about Toronto's cap problems, but eventually they signed him, and so now they just have this contract that they're going to hold on to for a year, and then it's done, basically.
It sounds like fun.
Do we have sad music we can play for this final trade?
I'm sure I can find some sad music somewhere.
Yeah, just imagine there's sad music here.
Like just sad, like recorder, maybe a couple missed notes here and there.
Yeah, just here, like the Russian national anthem.
We'll just put it right here. Amazing. Okay.
Incredible.
That was incredible. I am moved to tears. This is the part where I get really lazy and I don't edit that in, but that's fine. I'm sure I will.
They can imagine it.
They can imagine it. Just use that moment of silence in our hearts for our boy Nikita Gusev.
Yeah. So Nikita Gusev wanted about $4.5 million. We had about $2 million worth of cap space, and so Nikita Gusev goes to the New Jersey Devils for a second-round pick and a third-round pick. Hello, Kat. Welcome to the video. For a second-round pick and a third-round pick, which I think it's quite likely, based on how good that Gusev could be, that he probably could have gotten a first-round pick if he had played one season here, but he was asking for more than we had to give him, and we were apparently unwilling to move a Ryan Reeves or a Cody Eakin to get that space, which is...
Opinions on that at all?
I think that Ryan Reeves is probably going to score less than 1/10 the number of points that Nikita Gusev scores, but also Ryan Reeves is very popular, so I will leave it at that.
He's a popular boy.
He's a popular boy with a very bad beer. It's not very tasty. So sad. It's not very tasty at all.
Well, I have these notes here, and one of them just says rookie games happened here, but they were really bad.
Yes. So
I think that's incredible.
After all of the trades, we packed up all the rookies and sent them off to Anaheim to go play some rookie games, and we played very badly in all of them, and I believe we lost all of them.
Go team! Woo!
And so we left Anaheim, not having had a very good time, and then we moved on to a much better time.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about the preseason then.
Preseason.
This is the better time. Okay, so the preseason, we opened up the preseason against Arizona, and we won 6-2 the first game.
Yeah, but there was also 7 NHLers across both teams playing. So
Yeah,
it doesn't really say much, but it's also just like, it's a good warm up and it's nice to win.
It's preseason.
Yes, it is nice to win. I mean, it was a pretty good win, 6-2. That's pretty good.
And then Colorado.
Yep, packed up the bags, went over to the Rockies, defeated them soundly, 5-0, because there were even fewer NHLers playing, especially for the Colorado side. And so Zikov, whatever his first name is, and Puri basically just
beats me. It's been a while, man. It's been a while.
So Zikov and Puri basically just ran circles around everyone and destroyed Colorado's D team, basically.
How much play time does Zikov and Puri get during the regular season?
So Zikov played a couple games.
I barely know his name, so he must not play a lot.
Well, we picked him up off of the waiver wire last season from Edmonton, and he was basically pretty much just not fast enough to play in the NHL. And so he basically spent all summer skating and learning and becoming a better skater, and now he looks really good.
We just talk about how you have all that information, where we got him from, all these things about his speed, but you don't know his first name?
Valentin Zikov is his first name.
Oh, the silence sold it. Anyways.
I know he was a first-round pick from Carolina. I think he was 6th overall.
Oh, man, okay.
I have a lot of information. I am an
then,
endless
and
font.
then we went over to L.A.
Yes.
2-3, overtime, we won.
Yes, that one was a little bit more scary because it was LA scored in the first, LA scored in the second, and then we scored 2 in the third, and then Jonathan Marchessault just finished it in overtime, which was fun. It's always fun to beat LA. There were like 5,000 people in the stands for that game.
Yeah, and there's a similar story at LA, or here against LA, that we'll talk about in a minute, going the other way.
Not quite the same, but
it's similar. They were up 2 in the first, and then
as you do,
then
win in
back
California.
In the third.
When you win in California, you go up to San Jose and you beat them too.
Yeah.
1-3 victory.
I'm getting ahead of myself. You're like getting annoyed at me.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Get ahead of yourself. Like slapped my microphone.
Yeah. So that was Fleury's first game, I believe. He played that game, and he looked pretty good. I'm pretty sure Fleury was in net for that one. So, yeah.
And then back home for Colorado.
That was probably the worst game that we played all preseason. It was horrible. Everything about it was bad. People were falling. It was not very fun to watch. It was very bad. And that's all I have to say about it.
That's all I have to say. And then against LA, this is what I was talking about earlier.
Less bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah, less bad. Well,
this was the first sort of dress rehearsal game where we had basically the whole roster was out there and everybody was playing and they were trying their bestest.
That's so sad.
And we lost to a team that's probably going to finish near the bottom of the standings in the NHL. That being said, 2 days later,
back to San Jose. San Jose at home.
They came visiting, and we went to a shark hunting, and we defeated them 5-1 in a game where there were almost enough penalty minutes to cover 2 NHL hockey games. There were 114 penalty minutes in that game.
Let's be clear. That's like one game for the Knights, knowing how we did last season.
No,
us on our penalty minutes.
We were pretty good, mostly.
Did you say 114? Wait, hold up.
114 minutes worth of penalties in the game.
I had the joke in mind about the last season and all of our excessive penalties, but like, I just totally phased the number you just dropped. 114.
And if you had to guess, how many of those would go to each team?
I feel like we would have more.
You would be wrong.
Okay, I figured we'd be kind of pissed about past events, if you would.
No.
Like, maybe we're over it, and they're.
How about 75 minutes versus 39?
Ooh, baby.
I think that does that add up, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, 75 to 39.
Math.
That adds up exactly correct. I remember the numbers.
Look at you. Congratulations.
Because they had 3 guys thrown out for game misconducts, which is 10 minutes each, and Evander Kane got 2 game misconducts on the same play. He was also tackled by a ref, which was pretty funny.
Oh my
So-
god, I had to look at the clip of that. That
Oh,
sounds
it's so
amazing.
good, dude. So it's really funny. So like him and England were just like John off near the bench. England like he sort of hit England. England goes down, probably lost his balance. I think he thought that England went down a little easy, and so he's like John off at him. He slashes him. England comes over, cross checks him. Kane skates away, tries to skate back, and the ref just grabs him from behind and just takes him straight down to the ice. And then he stands back up, pushes the ref, and the ref's like, "Get the heck out of here!" And so that's a abuse of officials, which comes with an automatic 10-game suspension. So that would be, yeah, so 10 games. But people are kind of saying like, hey, like the ref took him down, so maybe I can understand. But I would be surprised if he doesn't get 2, which would, funnily enough, put him beyond the first 2 games of the season, which, as I've foreshadowed here, are these 2 teams playing each other again. I swear to God, it's horrible. Our last 9 games that have mattered have been against the Sharks, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
We just gotta, we're just gonna keep beating them. Yeah, we gotta prove a point, right?
Yes, I would. Let's hope that on Wednesday, opening night, October 2, just make it like 7-1, and then
Yeah, like
9-1
14 to like 2, and
Yeah.
then like 9 to like 3.
Can we make it 75 to 39?
Yeah, 75 to 14 actually. I can't give them 39 goals. My boy Fleury would never let in that many.
It's true. Actually,
I mean-
we didn't even we just put up like a cardboard cutout of Fleury.
Yeah, he's not even in. We don't want to. We don't
Those,
even want him to get
those
injured.
little like plastic things.
We,
that they put
we
up
know
in
how the
front of-
Sharks play. They're gonna like try and hurt him.
Speaking of people trying to hurt people, so in the third period of the Sharks preseason game, they pulled Jones, put in Dell, and then a puck sort of gets dumped in behind the Sharks net, and Stone is going in there skating after it after one of the Sharks defenders who was gathering up the puck, and Aaron Dell just sort of sticks his leg out and trips Stone. And the refs didn't see it,
Classic.
and so
That's a
Stone,
classic maneuver.
that's a 2 minutes for you cannot do that, and hopefully a call from the Players Association, because it's very clear in the rules that like you should avoid hitting goalies. Goalies do not get hit. Like, I mean, there's a whole penalty for it, goalie interference, right? That you can hit people, but you can't hit goalies. It's a thing, and so the other side of that is goalies can't hit players. And so when you do something blatant where you stick your foot out and trip somebody, and then also sort of run your shoulder into the star player on your rival's team, one would hope that you are told to pack your bags and not play a few games, which would be really funny, because if we continue to light up Martin Jones the way that he has always been lit up when he plays against us, they would have to pull him and put in some third-string AHL goaltender, which, considering that they had an .898 save percentage last year with Jones, I can't even imagine what their third goalie looks like.
Yeah,
So-
that would
So there
that'd
you
be
go.
fun to watch.
I would be appreciative of that.
Anyways, do you have any wrap-up comments for our preseason games as a whole? How are we feeling looking into the regular season starting?
We look good. That is what I will say. We look good.
Looking good, boys.
The defense looks good. Oh, wait, I forgot to mention that Alex Tuck and Cody Eakin are both injured.
Rip.
Rip, very big rip. But that means that, so for the San Jose game, they put Glass between Cody Glass, number 6 overall from 2017 draft, incredible player, between Pacioretty and Stone, and he looked really good. And they put Stastny down between Zikov and Peary, and they looked really good. So, and obviously Marchessault, Carlson, and Smith looked really good. And so that means that we had 3 lines who looked like damn good. And so we had 2 first lines with Carlson, Marchessault, Smith, Glass, Stone, Pacioretty, and then Stastny just carrying 2 guys who can basically be assholes to being a second line, and then the fourth line was old Glassbones Carrier and Reeves and Nosek in there as well, and they even scored a goal. I mean, we look deadly, is what I'm saying. We look deadly.
I am excited to. I'm excited to get into this season as we go forward.
Yeah, so we have 2 games this week. There's October 2nd, the home opener against the Sharks, and then October 4th, also against the Sharks, but this time we're in their building.
Ah, man. I feel like we're playing the Sharks a lot. I'm really getting that feeling.
Well, we play them these 2 times, and then I'm pretty sure we don't see them until literally the end of the season.
Oh, wow.
We will not see them again.
Well, that's good. I
It's
guess.
encouraging, at least.
It's encouraging.
Let's
We
just
don't have
hope
to deal. We
nobody
don't have
dies.
to deal with that nuisance.
Yeah, just hope nobody dies. Just cross your fingers. Nobody's gonna die. It's okay.
Yeah, everything's gonna be good. Well, this has been your recap of the preseason, off-season, the draft, all that stuff, and we will be with you guys for the next game.
Woo!
Woo! Go team! We did it.